So today we are testing exactly what is the best fastener for using on cedar fence or just wood fence. For all you haters out there, just whoa! No, this is not typically how we would build a cedar fence. No nasty comments. Our first one, I know you're gonna be sitting here going, what are you doing using that? I gotta try it. Roofing nails. The reason I think that some people use something like this is because it has a big fat head. And the next one that we have, just the general stainless steel screw. And you put them in with a drill or an impact. Next contender, this is a long shot. I have to think of a DIYer when I chose this one because I could see somebody doing it, and that is a finish nailer. Our next one, there's some people out there, and you know who you are, that are using staples. Well, Dan, who is using staples that you know of? Well, you know, it might be the big box store, you know, the pre-built panels. All right, the last one, it's a ring-shanked coiled nail is what it is. Runs through a gun like this. I'm sure you guys are asking yourselves, dude, just tell us, what are you using? We're gonna talk about it. I'm curious to see if the fastener of our choice turns out to be the best. All you haters out there are gonna be so proud we're finally using our string line to build fence. We're using it to hang this nice hammer to swing into the picket. Here at SWI, we take fence science to the extreme. This is a 4-pound sledge. We have a 2-inch gap between top of 2x4 to bottom of sledgehammer. It's not very fair to test in the center of the picket because then we're just testing the strength of the board. We want to test the strength of the fastener, how well it's going to hold. All right, right at 2 feet, picket number 1 on roofing nails. We can see we got a little bit of a separation already. Stainless steel screw. Nothing, no gap. 2 feet on the finish nail. So just like the roofing nail, we can see we already started to get a gap. 2 feet on the staple. Maybe a little tiny gap right there. There's a little bit of a kerf in the top of the board here, so we want to note that. 2 feet draw on the ring shanked nail. And that one didn't really seem to show a change. So the winner of that round that didn't move, I'm gonna call it the staple, the ring shank nail, and the screw. So 2 foot draw, 4 pounds in motion, 2 feet back. That calculates out to be, I don't know. Start of the second picket, this is gonna be a 3 foot draw. Here we go, 3 foot draw. We got quite a bit of movement there. We got at least double what we had on the first one. And let it go. And no movement. All right, finish nail. So right now, that is the worst. Staple on a 3 foot draw. Maybe a little bit of separation, just ever so slightly. Last one on a 3 foot draw is the ring shank nail. Maybe just ever so slightly right there. Okay, all the way back down to the roofing nailer. Okay, we're gonna go all the way back straight to a plane like this, which measures out to be 5 feet. That has left the chat. Same draw on the screw. Here we go. Maybe just a tiny bit of movement. So the screw is an all-out winner. Here we go to the finish nailer. For some odd reason, I think that one held up a little bit better than the roofing nailer. I thought that we had more momentum from that picket going out further, but they both still failed. 5 foot draw all the way back. So the staple compared to the screw, very minimal movement on the screw, severe movement on the staple. Okay, last one. Ooh, that is interesting. I don't know what to think about that because we have one nail that's still embedded in the 2x4 and we have one nail that pulled through. So the ring shank nails that's actually what we use. I was expecting some movement, I really was. But to see one pull through, and it's not good enough evidence for me, and I feel like we gotta test it one more time, so we're gonna go back to picket number 1. But let's point out right now, we need to go back through before we test this one more time and see what failed the worst. The roofing nail and the finish nailer, not a good option. Even though they're quick, those are a smooth nail and they're gonna release. They're not gonna grip like a ring shank nail. The screw, ultimately the best. The screw is the strongest fastener out of all these. It 100% won. As far as the staple and the ring shank nail, I say that the ring shank nail is stronger than the staple. Just to come up with a proper conclusion, the ring shank nail. Minimal movement. That is what I was expecting. I've tried to pull those ring shank nails out of there on jobs where I've actually nailed the picket in the wrong position. It's very surprising on how well they hold. Those things can grip. Here we go, picket number 1 on the staple 5-foot draw. The result is very comparable to the last test that we did on the 5-foot draw on the staple, which is still considerably more than the ring shank coil nail, which is right here. All right, we're gonna take it one step further. So we have failure on the finish nailer and the roofing nailer. We do not have a full failure on the screw, the staple, or the ring shank nail. So we're gonna test all 3 of those, 5 more blows, to see if we can get any of them to fail. 5 whack-ems. Ooh, we got some failure. That's a picket failure. The screw's still in there. This is the staple. Okay, well there's one. So we'll go into this one, go into picket number 2. Starting over. It's like playing at the fair. I won! Oh, we got a nice crack going up the picket. Hold on, whoa, you're not gonna believe this. Remember earlier when I was talking to you guys about how good those ring shank nails grab? So the picket split. Well, just come look for yourself. See those nails in there? They did their job. They held the picket until the picket couldn't handle anymore, and then it split. We'll go ahead and start over here again on picket number 2. Oh man, I got one still in there and I have one that stuck out. 2. Whoa! Did you get that on camera?
I did, yeah.
That was close. Whoa! Yeah, because it came perfectly back through this gap and I wasn't expecting it. All right, here we go. 4. So we knocked it off in 5-2. And our top did pull out. I'm just gonna be naive and say that the staple doesn't belong on the fence, or it needs to be a ring shank nail or a screw. Ultimately, the 2 best fasteners out there. Finish nail belongs in carpentry, the roofing nail belongs in a roof, the staple belongs in general construction. Obviously, the stainless steel coiled pneumatic nail gun is a lot faster than the screws. Still, 2 really great results. If you're looking for either of them, make sure and see the links below. If you're looking for the gun that works with these nails, make sure and see that link below. Hey, real quick, does nailing pattern have anything to do with strength of the bond between picket to 2x4 and a wood fence? Let's find out. We're gonna do just straight across the board. This one here, we're gonna go high-low. High, low, high, low, high, low. I wonder if that does make a difference. We are getting a little bit of separation on the one with the high-low pattern, but we're getting nothing like what we're getting over on a straight line. So we have one that knocked off, but 2 that didn't. My conclusion is having a pattern of high-low does make a little bit stronger of a structural bond on your wood fence. Now, if you guys haven't seen these particular posts right here, make sure and check out the video over here where we torture test a wood fence with an airboat. And if you guys want to see how we build a stair-stepped horizontal cedar fence, make sure and see that video right here. This is Dan with SWI. We hope you have a good dang day.